What is going to happen, everybody? It's your favorite retired weeb coming at you with an anime death battle. If there are two things that don't mix, it's anime characters and death battle. Because these guys like to get the scaling wrong more often than not. With the exception of Superman versus Goku. Superman should always be Goku no matter what. But, you know, we're dealing with two anime characters against one another. We should we should be okay here, right? Today I'm reacting to the Shigaraki versus Mahito battle. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, haven't watched JJK season 2, not caught up on My Hero past like when Edge Shot sacrificed himself to save Bakugo. So I don't necessarily know how strong these characters are currently. Well, Shigaraki's dead currently, spoilers for the ending of the manga, holy shit. But, you guys probably knew that, right? It's like, these are the two most spoiled manga that come out. Or one of them. No, they're both over. Jesus Christ. This is why you don't script your YouTube videos, because then you get to embarrass yourself live. But yeah, I'm out of date on what I know about these characters, and I'm gonna do what I always do, and skip the lore. We're gonna get straight to the battle, because that's the interesting thing. If I were to make an executive guess about who should have won the battle, I would say Shigaraki. I think that, just based on where he was at, like, the beginning of seasons... Was that 6 or 7? At the beginning of season 6, when he gets All for One, and he's able to, like, pancake a whole city. There are curses in Jujutsu Kaisen that are capable of feats similar to or greater than that, but I don't think Mahito's one of them. I don't think that he has that kind of raw destructive output. I know that both of them are like, oh, you know, we make things happen with our hands by touching them, and that's why they pick these two to go against each other. But Mahito has to get really close to Shigaraki, and Shigaraki does not have to get really close to Mahito. That's my guess, but anything could happen. This is the battle we're talking about. Without any further ado, let's hop right in.
All right, the
Combatants are set.
Run the data through all possibilities.
Are you showing me Cursed Clash gameplay? Was that Cursed Clash gameplay and My Hero Wants Justice?
All right, the combatants are set.
You know both of those games suck hot ass. Alright.
It's time for a death battle!
So we're in Shibuya. Here we go. Here we go. Can I show this? Well, it's on YouTube, right? So... Oh my god.
I'd heard of a powerful villain stalking these parts. My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us.
Is that the real voice actor?
Freak of your talents.
Sounds just like him.
Want to be king of the social rejects?
I don't know what Mahito sounds like in English. I've never watched JJK in English.
Fine by me. Let's call this your audition, Sickum.
So he's calling no moves. We're already off to a start. That doesn't seem particularly fair. This is pretty well animated. You almost can't tell it's 3D. Oh, yeah, disgusting. I don't even remember why Shigaraki can do that. What quirk is that?
Did you actually just say that? God, how lame!
Yeah, I forgot he can split himself into two.
Audition over.
But it's also like, the thing is that he could just like touch the ground and it would just be over. You know, he can decay everything. But it's fine, whatever. Okay. Emulating that Bones style animation very well here. I like it. But he's got healing quirks, so he should be fine. Oh, is that, I'm gonna be honest, because I was reading the My Hero manga for quite a while. And, when this stuff started happening, because I already, and call me what you will, I already had a problem keeping up visually with what I was looking at when I was reading that. Once this stuff started happening, I was like, I can't follow this anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So I stopped reading it. So I also, yeah, I just don't remember why he's able to do all that with his hands. I know he's got, you know, a bunch of quirks, but it's like, is that one of them?
Domain expansion.
Oh, that's fair. That makes sense. That's really impressive animation, to be honest.
You're just a scared little boy whose daddy was mean and wants to make it everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Oh, that's his, like, his form that he gets. I've seen this. I was very confused. I'm like, who did he summon? He didn't. He just evolved or something. Hey, all for one. Okay, so, like, when this first came out, I was talking to one of my coworkers about this. I was like, if Mahito tries to use DE on Shigaraki, is it going to be the same as when he tried to use it on Yuji, and he ended up having to deal with Sukuna? Would he then, in this situation, have to deal with All for One? And I guess I was right. That makes sense, because there is another person inside of Shigaraki. There we go.
I felt your soul too.
He can decay the entire train station.
Because you were born that way.
Yeah.
Totally right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's running for his fucking life. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Oh my god.
You grow up.
Yep. Like, I'm not particularly a My Hero fan, but I would consider My Hero characters to be pretty powerful in comparison to a lot of other new gens. Could you even call My Hero a new gen anymore? It's like, it's 10 years old, the manga at least. Anyway, yeah, I figured that on average, My Hero characters are probably stronger than JJK characters. That's about what I saw being the outcome. Let's hear about the rationale after the fact. Let's hear the after action report.
Oh, what did I say, Wiz? Like a bitch.
With their complex power sets, this match was a puzzle to figure out, which is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories: physical stats, survivability, and their powers.
But first, let's address one thing. Could Shigaraki even see Mahito? He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy
That's fair.
and quirks are notably different. And
I didn't even think
Shigaraki
about
wouldn't
that.
Be able to see curses normally. However,
But he does have-
regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios. And with
That's
the
true.
search quirk, Shigaraki
Yeah.
would have had no problem tracking it.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was no contest. Despite the disaster curses being able to destroy entire cities with their cursed energy, Shigaraki's scaling to Deku
Shigaraki is
Bakugo
far
was
above that.
calculably millions of times stronger.
I didn't get to read that. I hate when they do that shit.
Deku and Bakugo meant he was calculably
Millions of times stronger is insane, but I mean... But we're also using, and this is another thing that I hate, because I talked about how I don't like when they do video game characters and they use, like, in-game mechanics to scale. I don't like when they're doing anime characters and they pull stuff from movies or other non-canon material. None of the My Hero movies are canon. I don't want to hear it. They're not canon. The only thing that's canon from those movies is Dave Shields and his daughter. They exist in the manga, but as far as we know, nothing that happened in that Two Heroes movie is canon. So the same would go for Heroes Rising, because nothing that happens in it is ever touched on again. There's no flashbacks to it, and Deku's like the king of flashbacks. He takes after Naruto in that way. Nothing from Heroes World Mission is canon. It's never come up again. And I haven't seen Your Next. Probably won't, because I don't like these movies very much. I'm sure that there is a feat in the canon material that we could use, like, oh, I don't know, All Might punching so hard that the weather changed, and considering the fact that Deku is stronger than that, and that Shigaraki is stronger than Deku. We could scale it that way. Anyway.
Times stronger.
He was faster, too, considering he could react to light beams, while Mahito's Black Flash capped out at nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. Nothing to scoff at, but Shiggy was thousands of times faster. Shigaraki takes stats.
But survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive super easy.
However,
That's what it looks like in the show?
a curse
Oh man, that's
isn't
rough.
immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out. Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability via idle transfiguration meant that he'd
Oh my god, I hate that character so much. Is he dead? Did they kill him? I hope so.
Curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a crucial question. Could Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
Or would Mahito's
That's fair.
unkillability give him the time he needed to eventually put Shiggy down?
But I mean, it's not necessarily about death, it's about destruction of his body.
Shigaraki had a lot more variety with all of the crazy quirks All For One had collected over all the years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean idle transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all things, Shigaraki's vestiges served as a spiritual shield from the effects of idle transfiguration. The fact that Mahito could
That's
not
fair.
avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking
Shigaraki survived multiple one-for-all transfer attacks from Deku, which directly attack the soul and reflect identical damage on the body, just like out of transfiguration. His body evolved to counter these punches automatically. One-for-all transfer attacks? Oh, is that when Deku was like forcibly putting his quirks into Shigaraki? I know a little bit about how it ended. Just not too many of the specifics.
Yuji meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside a person.
And Shiggy has hundreds of soul-like entities inside of him. Sure, each
That's
one
fair.
down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend
Even if Shigaraki could not target spiritual matter, Nanami states that a curse like Mahito would still die after expending all of their cursed energy, like in Naruto, how you would die from chakra exhaustion. Given Shigaraki's massive physical advantages, arsenal of abilities, and proven 45-day stamina versus Gigantomachia, he wins the War of Attrition. I forgot yeah, because Gigantomachia was loyal to All For One and didn't want to serve Shigaraki, so he had to like beat him to earn his submission, and it took 45 days. I forgot all about that. That's like way back in season 3. That's many, many years ago at this point. I forgot all about that. Good job.
against
They do their research, you guys. You know, I used to want to work for this show. I used to want to be a researcher. That's that whole story. I used to.
Quirk. Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again,
Okay.
vestiges. In fact, he was able to damage Deku's vestige and have that damage transferred to the Deku in the real world.
Mahito may be made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact, sorcerers that couldn't...
Shigaraki's soul is additionally shielded by a barrier of pure hatred, distinct from his soul itself. Auto transfiguration has been blocked by Nanami's cursed energy, which is born from negative emotions like hatred. I didn't know that about Shigaraki. That's really stupid. I think that's maybe the dumbest thing I've heard about this show.
No reason to think Shiggy wouldn't decay him like everyone else.
Giving Shigaraki the third and final edge. It was a unique duel to the death, but Shigaraki's overwhelming might, unstoppable...
I wouldn't necessarily say that Shigaraki has inferior regeneration. I think it's just as good. I mean, you look at the stuff that he's healed from, it's still really impressive. But, I don't know. I guess, in the end...
Deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster curse.
Nothing else to say. You really gotta hand it to Shigaraki.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, in the end, I agree with the outcome and most of the rationale behind it. I used to have a lot of fun watching these videos. The thing that frustrates me with Death Battle is the inconsistency. I also don't like them scaling these characters with non-canon feats. Like, I don't like that they scale Goku with things from like Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I don't like that they scale Superman with stuff from the Golden Age and from pre and post Crisis and from like situational moments like when he fought the World Forger, stuff like that, where like ordinarily he wouldn't be that powerful. I just wish that they would take like day-to-day DC Rebirth Earth 1 Superman, and that's the version of Superman that we use. Or we would just take Goku the way that he is currently in the Dragon Ball Super manga, or something like that. You don't have to go outside of the mainline material just to try to make the characters seem stronger, because it's relative. It doesn't matter, right? It just confuses people, and it makes it difficult to have these types of discussions. Like, before Death Battle ever started, people used to discuss versus battles all the time, and I used to be a part of it. But something happened, and people just treat Death Battle like they're the be-all, end-all, high authority of versus battles, and I just don't know how that happened or what we can do about it. But I guess that's it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the battle and who won, if you agree or disagree, what you want to see me react to in the future, and if you're lucky, maybe you'll win a prize. Anyway, I'll see you later.